Okay, welcome everybody. It's Thursday night here in Cameron, and I'm a little bit late getting set up, but we have running time because the Comets tonight have a 43-point lead here in the second half. So we're going to have running time for the last 4 minutes and 24 seconds. So I apologize, I couldn't bring you more of the junior varsity game, but we're on now. Again, running time. Definitely not like it was on Tuesday night. We had quite the battle with Bloomer, losing 41-40. But the Comets tonight against Unity, the JV is out here, out to a big 57-14 lead. We got the scoreboard fixed the next day, so we should have that in the corner of the screen tonight for us. But I will allow you to watch the rest of the JV game. I'm going to get some stats put together to give you some updates. Tonight, we have Parents' Night, and we do have the Cameron dance team performing at halftime, I've been informed. So, got a few things going on tonight. I'm going to let you enjoy the last 3 minutes, 30 seconds of the Cameron Girls Junior Varsity. I'll be back with you in just a bit. Well, welcome to Cameron on a Thursday night. The Comets hosting the Unity Eagles tonight. They met one other time earlier this year, and the Comets went to Unity and pulled off a win, 74-39. So a pretty convincing win for the Comets. Coming into tonight, the Comets are 13-4, coming off of an unfortunate loss to the Bloomer Blackhawks on Tuesday night here. It ended up being a 7-point loss, but it was about a 2, 4, maybe 5-point game most of the game, but some fouls at the end to get them to the line. But Bloomer was able to complete their free throws, which is always important at the end of the game, and Bloomer pulled ahead, and the Comets just could not close the gap. But it was a great game. So the Comets are 13-4. More importantly for them, 11-1 in the Heart of the North Conference, and this is a Heart of the North Conference game. The Unity Eagles took the place of the Chetek Bulldogs in the Heart of the North. The Bulldogs are out. The Unity Eagles are in. So this is a conference game for the Cameron Comets and Unity Eagles. Unity this year is 4-14. So not having as good a year as they might have hoped. For the Unity Eagles, they are led by junior Andrea Erickson, averaging just over 12 points a game, followed by Madison Wilhelm, a senior, and Marissa Anderson, another senior, both averaging just over 6 points a game. Andrea Erickson also controlling the rebounds for the Eagles. She's averaging just under 6 rebounds a game, followed by Megan Peterson, a junior, averaging just over 5. And Brooklyn Kottval, a senior, averaging 4 rebounds per game. In the assists category, Caitlin Collar, a junior, averaging 2.6 a game, followed by Madison Wilhelm at 1.7 and Andrea Erickson at 1.4. So those are your leaders in those columns for the Unity Eagles. For the Cameron Comets, you've heard it before. It's kind of been the same all year. Bridget Moans, a junior, averaging 15 points a game this year. And most recently, I seen a stat, her three-point percentage is running about 39%. So shooting an outstanding three-point percentage. She's followed by Aggie Schmidt, a freshman, who's been really fun to watch. Big shoes to fill from last year. They lost a lot of starters, a lot of speed and intensity with the loss of Lexi Kuffel and Maddie Sievert. They were super quick on top, great defenders, moved the ball well, super fast. But Aggie Schmidt has really stepped up as a freshman to fill those shoes. She's averaging 13.6 points per game. This year, Bailey Olson, the junior, led the team in scoring the last 2 years, is averaging just under 12 points a game. So we're seeing a little bit more dispersal of the scoring this year. And averaging just over 10 points a game is Inez Schmidt. And rounding out the starters, Anna Baraboo, averaging just over 8 points a game. So a dynamic for the Comets a lot of teams don't have is 4 people averaging double-digit scoring, and that makes them tough to stop. They can't key on one player because they have a lot of different weapons that can put the basket in and score. So on the rebounding end, Anna Baraboo has led the team all year. She's averaging 9 rebounds a game. Inez Schmidt with 8, and Aggie Schmidt, the freshman, averaging just over 6 from the guard position, so that's really good. Assists are led by Inez Schmidt, the junior. She's averaging 3.5 a game, followed by Aggie Schmidt, close behind, 3.3 a game, and Bailey Olson, 2.3. Tonight, again, it is Parents' Night. So I've been told at halftime we're going to introduce all the players JV, and varsity and their parents. And also at halftime, first time this year, we've had the Cameron dance team is going to do a performance for us. So it's going to be an exciting halftime. Next on the schedule for the Comets, it's a makeup game on Monday. They're going to travel to Cumberland. That game got canceled with the freezing rain before. So Cumberland High School, Monday night. Tuesday night, we'll be back here with you with the St. Croix Falls Saints coming into town. And on Friday night, the Comets travel to Barron, and another makeup game on Saturday. The Comets are going to travel to Chippewa Falls McDonald, and that was a game that was canceled because of the cold. That was a Friday night deal. So next week, the Comets have, between Monday and Saturday, they are very active. They got 4 games. Then they come back at home versus Ashland on the 17th, and Hayward, which is probably going to be for the conference championship, on the 19th, and that rounds out the regular season. So the 19th, last game of the regular season, then we head into the playoffs the following week, but that's going to bring us to Hayward. Hayward, again, 12-0 in the conference, leading the conference. So that's going to be a battle to share the Heart of the North. I will be back with you with the Unity schedule and a look at the scoring for the teams after a word from one of our sponsors.
We keep you connected.
We spark young minds.
We keep you safe on the road.
We keep you healthy.
We respond when it matters most.
We are Northwood Tech.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Okay, back with you. We got 5 minutes until we get the introductions and the national anthem. You got time to get yourself a beverage, relax in a chair, make yourself some microwave popcorn, whatever it is you do at home to get ready for the game. And I'm going to give you the tale of the two teams. The Comets averaging 63.8 points per game. Unity Eagles averaging 37.9. So quite the difference there in the average scoring. Comets also leading in field goal percentage, averaging about 40% to the Unity Eagles 30%. It looks like the Comets are shooting quite a few more three-pointers, and by the three-point percentage, they're even making more. One column that has haunted the Comets this year has been belong to the Comets, averaging 17 steals a game to the 10 of the Unity Eagles. The assists per game, again, led by the Comets, 13 assists per game compared to 8 for the Unity Eagles. But the blocks per game is owned by the Unity Eagles, or got 45 blocks on the year, and the Comets averaging just over 1 per game. They're at 18 blocks on the year. Turnovers is a category you don't want to lead, but the Unity Eagles are 456 turnovers on the year, so they're averaging about 25 a game. The Comets .300 on the year, averaging 18.2 a game, and that's a number you want to see low, and a little bit lower than 18, I'm sure would make Coach Wanek happy. In the last 10 games, the UNT Eagles are 2-8, and the Comets are 7-3. And I don't know if he's going to mic up, but I'm joined by the boys commentator. Jay Cornell is in the house tonight. So I'm not sure if he's going to mic up and join me tonight or if he's just going to sit here and try and make me nervous. Either way, enjoy the warm-ups. We'll be back with you in 2 minutes for the introductions and the national anthem tonight, sung by Kendall Roble, a senior here at Cameron High School. Okay, as the Comets line up, you'll notice some younger girls out there. The fifth graders are playing the ball girls tonight, so they're out on the floor with the high school girls. The youth always enjoy that time. They do a little bit of rebounding for them and run out with them a little bit and stand in line. So the fifth graders having a fun time tonight. I also see we have Addison Lambrecht, a sixth grader from Cameron, joining Kendall Roble for the national anthem this evening. So she has sang it by herself before, as Kendall Roble has. She does an excellent job. Impressive that a sixth grader is willing to sing in front of a crowd like this. So very proud of her for that. Does an excellent job. So I'm going to set the mic down so you hopefully can hear these two who do an excellent job with the national anthem. Well, an excellent duet there. Kind of surprised me. Didn't know that was coming. And I don't know if you caught it, but 3/4 of the way through the song, it sounds like the one microphone went out, and Kendo quickly recovered and held it between the two of them, and they sang very nicely together. And now for tonight's starting lineups for the Unity Eagles. Number 15, Andrea Erickson. She's a junior. Number 21, Madison Wilhelm, a senior. Number 40, Megan Peterson, a junior. Number 43, Brooklyn Cotball, a senior. And number 54, Violet Hill, a senior. So looks like we're starting 3 seniors and 2 juniors for the Inez Schmidt. Number 13, a junior, Bailey Olson. Number 24, a senior, Anna Baraboo. And number 34, Bridget Mones, a junior. So I haven't seen this officiating crew before. Young-looking group of guys. Good to have them out here tonight. As we begin to get underway here with the jump ball, Inez Schmidt to go up against Andrea Erickson. Looked like Inez Schmidt got her hands on it. Tipped it over to Bridget Moen. She saved it, falling out of bounds. To Aggie Schmidt, Bailey Olson open for 3. Came up short. You don't want to leave her there, though. She's going to hit a lot of them. Anna Baraboo, leading rebounder for the team, picks up the loose change there and puts it in for 2. Comets on the board right away. Andrea Erickson controlling the offense for the Unity Eagles. She tries to get it on top to Wilhelm, but picked off by Bridget Moens. She brings it the other way, and the Comets up by 4 early. Erickson pass over again. Picked off by this time Inez Schmidt. She brings it down, finds Aggie Schmidt inside for an easy little 2-pointer, and the Comets up 6-0 early. This time Wilhelm brings it up, covered right at half court, and again picked off, this time by Anna Baraboo. Anna comes the other way. I thought it was a little hard off the glass, but she got the roll off the rim, and Comets up 8-0 with 3 steals early. So far, the Unity Eagles haven't been able to get it inside at all, but Erickson was able to drive in. Came up a little bit short, rebound by Peterson. She feeds it back inside to Erickson. A little turnaround hook shot, doesn't go. Bridget Moens with the rebound, and quickly the Comets are coming the other way. Moens got it ahead to Schmidt, who found a cutting Baraboo, who went up right away, didn't get it to go, but she was fouled. So Baraboo goes to the line, and if I'm correct, she is right now the leading free throw shooter for the Comets. And a nice looking free throw there for Baraboo. She hits her first of 2. Came up short on that one. Aggie Schmidt had it right in her hands, but it came out. Rebound ended up with Erickson, and she sets up the Unity offense again. Tried to get it to Hill, but Inez Schmidt was in that lane and going to pick that one off again. Comets are definitely right on top of the Unity Eagles on defense. This time the inbound went to Erickson. Nice drive to the basket, and she was able to finish. Aggie Schmidt the other way quickly. Stopped. They kicked it out to Anna Baraboo around the free throw line. She fires it, comes up a little bit short. Rebound, Inez Schmidt. Out to Aggie, back to Inez. Bailey Olson left open for 3 again. Yep, that's going to be a dangerous spot to leave her open from. She likes the corners and hit that one. Comets up to an early 12-2 lead. Wilhelm dribbles it in. It looked like she tried to get it in to Peterson, but the Comets tipped that one out of bounds. Eagles having a hard time getting that ball in. It gets tipped. Bailey Olson with it. Comes the other way. Last second pass to Inez Schmidt. Beautiful teamwork there. Bailey made the defense commit to her. At the last second, she threw it to Inez, who went up for an easy two-pointer. The Comets up 14-2 early. Unity working it around the outside. Erickson with it again. Feeds it over to Hill. She tries to go a cross-court pass, almost picked off by Aggie Schmidt, and that is dangerous with the speed of these Comets. Wilhelm with it. She tried to get it inside, tipped again, this time by Bridget Moans. Bailey Olson got it ahead to Inez Schmidt, and she finishes. And the Unity Eagles have seen enough in this first half. 16-2 in the first 2 minutes. In 17 seconds, Comets up to a quick 16-2 lead, and Unity wants to talk it over. While they're talking it over, we're going to go to a
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Well, we're going to have to see. It's Unity ball. They called the timeout. They're down 16-2 early. So hopefully they drew something up that's going to work. But these Comets have been pressuring defense like they do very quick. Get their hands in the mix all the time. And Unity's passes are getting picked off on a regular basis. Comets have probably 4 to 5 steals in this first couple minutes of the game already. And when they get the rebounds, they're breaking fast. So Unity with it. Wilhelm brings it up past half court. The Comets defense, they look like they're in a man-to-man type defense, and they are sticking right to their players. No doubt about that tonight. Peterson with it on the outside for the Eagles. Gets it over to Hill. Well, she thought about dribbling, thought about passing, and her feet moved with her. So, unfortunately, a turnover for Unity there. They didn't get a shot on the basket, and they're down 16-2, and it's Comet ball. Cotfall goes to the bench. And it looks like Schleissner came in for her. Comets the other way. Aggie Schmidt with it on the outside over to Inez. Has a good-looking shot. Doesn't go. I think Schleissner thought she had the rebound, but Bridget Moans came right inside of her, grabbed that rebound, and went right back up with it. He came back down, Erickson with it. She stuck it out a hair too far on the dribble, and Moans took it away, and she tried to stop her, but couldn't do it cleanly, and a foul on Erickson. So Comets with it. Moans up outside in the corner. Over to Inez Schmidt. Fires it across to Bailey Olson. Bridget Moans gets a nice look at the three. Comes up a hair short. Looked like Olson and Schleissner were fighting for the ball there. Ended up going out of bounds. They called a foul on that one, actually, on Bailey Olson. That's her first. So Unity ball, and Wilhelm's going to bring it back up. Moans covering her closely. Kick it over to Carlson. She just checked in. A nice move inside by Erickson. She backed Moans down, went to the left side, and finished nicely, then turned around and tried to pick the pocket of Aggie Schmidt on that one. Tipped it up in the air, but wasn't able to get it. Aggie's throw over, she tipped that one again. So Erickson showing some excellent defense. But Bailey Olson left open for a 3 baseline, and she hits it again. So Bailey Olson's 2 out of 3 from the 3-point line. Comets up 21-4 early. Unity trying to get it back into Erickson, who was making a move to the basket, but foul on Bailey Olson. That's her second. Peyton Sievert, 33 for the Comets, checks in. Inez Schmidt takes a breather. Unity passes it around for a 3. Nothing doing. Comets get the rebound. Couple nice passes up the court over to Bridget Moans at the very end, and she finishes 23-4. Comets up. Pass over to Hill. Hill drives in. Unity for 3. It looked like Schleichner took that one. Came up a little bit short. Bailey Olson with the rebound. Kicks it the other way. Aggie Schmidt fires a 3. She hits it. 26-4 with just under 12 minutes left in the first half. The Comets have really started out shooting the ball well. Comets have had some open looks from the 3-point line and have definitely hit a very high percentage of them in this game. Apparently the loss to Bloomer has very much lit a fire under the Comets, and they are coming out with vengeance, trying to make up for the loss to Bloomer on Tuesday night. Comets staying with the same lineup they had out there. (26-4). Just under 12 minutes left in this first half. We'll see what Unity drew up this time. So Erickson's going to bring it back up. Moans is waiting for it half court. Moans definitely applying defense pressure there. Kicks it over to Cottville on top. She tried to feed it inside. Comets got their hands on it, tipped it out of bounds. Quinn Grassman, a freshman, coming in for Anna Baraboo. So the Comets shuffle around on defense. Looks like they're still staying in a man-to-man defense. Inbounds over in the corner to Erickson. She's looking to drive in, this time on Bailey Olson. Oh, she had an off balance. Went to her left, but a very nice shot. She got it off the backboard and in. So 6 points for the Unity Eagles. And if I'm correct, Erickson has most of them. Comets the other way. Sievert in the corner, kicks it over to Bailey Olson. Again, she's left open. This time off the edge of the rim. Rebound, Grassman. Kicks it out to Sievert. She misses. Moans on the ground with the ball. Sievert almost traveled, but got rid of it. Grassman fires a 3, doesn't go. Unity comes down with that one, and they're going to bring it the other way. Erickson taking her time, bringing it up the court this time. Moans still waiting for her, applying heavy pressure again. Screen for Erickson, but it went nowhere. Aggie Schmidt covering Erickson closely, and a little too close. A little bump in there and foul called. That's Aggie Schmidt's first. Minutes, 36 seconds left in this first half. I hope your guys' feed isn't going black like my screen is at times. It seems to come back every time, so I'm not sure what I can do about it, but I hope yours stays live. Mine doesn't. Aggie Schmidt grabbed it away from Schleichner as she was keeping an eye on Bailey Olson. And Aggie Schmidt takes it the other way and puts it in for 2 more for the Comets. Erickson coming down again, driving hard on Moans. to the left side again. She likes that side. Doesn't get it to go this time. Moans with the rebound. Ahead to Aggie Schmidt. Aggie fouled by number 43, Kottfall. So Aggie goes to the line shooting 2. A little bit hard off the back of the rim. She does not get the roll on that one. Comets ahead 28-6 with 10 minutes remaining here in this first half. Comets have really opened up a big lead early. Aggie missed that one. So she missed them both at the line, and Erickson's going to bring it back the other way. Over to Kottfall. She looks at it, guarded by Quinn Grassman. Sievert tried to help a little bit. Sievert went for the steal, got it, comes back the other way. 2 more for the Comets. It's 30-6. Erickson again, driving Moans down into the corner. They get it to the middle, into Wilhelm. A lot of movement and contact in there. It looks like they called the foul on Bridget Moans. Excuse me, that was on Peyton Sievert, her first. And Anna Baraboo checking back in, this time for Aggie Schmidt. So Wilhelm at the line, she hits her first. Again, the Uni Eagles a little better free throw percentage than the Comets. And Wilhelm hits them both. Comets quickly the other way. Down to Sievert in the corner. She fires the 3, comes off the rim, but didn't hit it. Rebound actually ended up out of bounds off the Comets. Uni's going to bring it the other way. It looks like Schleichner bringing it up. Moans on her, lofts it over the top. Tried to get it to Kottfall, but Inez Schmidt was back there and scooped that one up. She found a wide open Anna Baraboo underneath the basket. I thought she was passing it outside. Moans was positioned outside, and Baraboo somehow was wide open under the basket, and Inez fired her a pass, and Baraboo hit that bunny inside. Bridget Moans was all over Schleichner. Schleichner was looking for the foul. She was kind of holding her eye like she got poked in the eye, but either way, Moans came away with the ball, kicked it ahead, and Comets got 2 the other direction. Peterson was dribbling, and Grassman was covering her closely and a little too closely. The refs didn't like it. Called the foul on Grassman, her first. Abby Olson in the game for Bridget Moans. So Uni inbounds it to Duholm. She's actually a freshman by the looks of it on my scorecard here. Uni setting up with an out-of-bounds play. Comets tipped it out of bounds into Carlson. Carlson got it stolen by Sievert. Sievert back the other way for 2 more. So that's a couple steals for Sievert on top of the key there, and she took them both back to the basket. So Wilhelm brings it up. Thought about passing. Unfortunately, she picked up her dribble, took an extra step, and it's a turnover. So just under 8 minutes left in this first half. Comets ahead 36-8. And Inez Schmidt brings it over half court to Grassman. Over to Sievert. She fires it to Inez Schmidt, who quickly dumps it inside to Anna Baraboo, who was open for a second. She got it up, but didn't quite get it to foul. And before she was able to get the rebound and go back up, She committed the foul. Might have been a little frustration there. But that's her first foul. Either way, it was a Comets' 7th team foul, which is going to put the Uni Eagles at the free throw line shooting the bonus. If she misses the first one, we play the rebound. If she makes it, she gets one more. So Carlson to the free throw line. Hits that one. She's a sophomore. So Unity's been very good from the free throw line so far tonight. And she hits them both. So 36-10. The score with 7:45 left, and Graspin brings it up past half court. Over to Inez Schmidt. Schmidt over to the corner to Sievert. Back up top to Graspin, over to Schmidt. Schmidt again finding Anna Baraboo inside. A nice rifle pass across, and Baraboo with about a 6-footer. That's a nice shot for her. She hits most of them. She gets that to go, and it's a 38-10 lead for the Comets. Unity gets it in. That's been Erickson's move all night. She didn't get this one to go, but got the rebound, got fouled. This foul was on Abby Olson, number 5. Brings the Comets to 8 team fouls, but means that she was fouled while shooting, she gets 2. Ooh, she came up short on that one. Erickson in and out on that free throw, so she missed them both. And the Comets come the other way, grasping down the corner, up to Schmidt, over to Abby Olson. And now Ashlyn Candler, number 25, is in the game. Abby Olson from the baseline fires up a 3, comes up a little bit short off the rim, and the rebound goes to the Uni Eagles. The pass from Wilhelm picked off by Grassman, and she was quickly to go the other way and able to finish. Wilhelm brings it back down, tries to get it inside, got tipped. Inez Schmidt ends up with it, brings it down. Last second, she throws it over to Graspin. Graspin couldn't get it to go. Rebound, Baraboo kicks it back out, and the Comets reset. Schmidt on top with it again. Over to Graspin, up to Schmidt, over to Candler. Baseline down to Abby Olson. Candler had it tipped, and as Schmidt's able to save it. Over to Abby Olson, who's inside the three-point line. A little long on that one. Out to Ashlyn Candler for 3. Her first shot of the game, and she hits it. So the Comets raining some threes from a lot of different players. Comets going deep into their bench early. Wilhelm tried to pass it inside, but a little too deep. Ended up in the hands of Baraboo, and she kicked it the other way. Comets with a shot and a miss. And Duholm brings it the other way. She feeds it inside to Erickson. Kicks it out for a 3 by Peterson, but not going. Comets the other way. Got it inside to Schmidt. She missed it. Takes another shot. A little bit of a line drive there. Didn't get it to go. A fight for the rebound inside. A jump ball is called. And it looks like the Comets going a little bit deeper yet in the bench. Bailey Olson, the only starter on the court right now. She just came back in the game. And Kylie Cherney, number 1, came in the game. Olsen to inbound it over to Cherney. Cherney loses the handle. Ends up in the hands of Peterson. Kicks it over to Schleissner, and she brings it down. Tries to feed it inside to Hill, who then turns around to get it inside to Erickson. Guarded by Cherney. Almost got a chance at a three-point play, but couldn't get it to roll in. Cherney drawing the foul. So Erickson back to the line. She hits her first this time. Missed the second. Cherney saved the rebound. Comes the other way. Bailey Olsen. Up to Grassman. Over to Candler. Grassman for three. She hits it. I think that's her first three on the year. A big shot for Grassman. Candler applying pressure on top. Bailey Olsen reaches around for the steal. To Candler. Back to Olsen. Looked like Candler tried to go up with it. Or it might have been Olsen. And they got it tipped out of bounds. Either way, Comet ball. Comets inbound to Abby Olsen. Blocked again. That's 2 blocks in a row for the Union Eagles. Comets fire a three. They're scrapping inside for the rebound. I'm going to guess the call's on Abby Olsen, and it is. There's no doubt she fights for the rebounds. Always good to see when you're a Comet, somebody inside scrapping for the boards. She fouled Hill underneath there, a senior, and the Comets are at 10, so Hill's going to get 2. And I'm able to read a little bit of the chat. Looks like Elite in Rice Lake is tuned in again. Always glad to have them on. Appreciate their support. I know a lot of the Comets go there for their footwear. I know my daughters always did. And Hill's able to hit the free throw. Comets the other way, 46-13 lead with just under 4 minutes left in this first half. Comets definitely in control. Outside shots been going really well for the Comets, and their intensity has been good after the loss on Tuesday night to the Bloomer Blackhawks. Aggie Schmidt back in the game, thinking about cutting in. Candler getting a tip. Erickson playing some good defense on top. She's got her hands on quite a few balls. Hasn't been able to pick too many off, but Comets moving around, find Bailey Olsen baseline. And again, that's not somebody you want to leave open. She hits another one. I think that's her third three-pointer in this first half. Erickson the other way, guarded now by Candler. Tried to feed it inside, and the Comets have been all over those interior passes today. Abby Olsen tips it to Kylie Cherney, ahead to Olsen, who sets a screen for Aggie Schmidt for a jumper. Doesn't go, and Erickson's going the other way. She's quickly picked up by Candler, and Aggie Schmidt was waiting if she got by her. Schleissner the other way, guarded closely by Aggie. Unity tried to feed it into Hill, but Cherney gets a hand on it. And Aggie Schmidt brings it the other way. A little too hard off glass. Bailey Olsen was right there, tried to get the rebound, couldn't get her hands on it. And out of bounds it went. 2:34 left in the first half. Comets with a 36-point advantage in this first half. Erickson with it. She was going right at Schmidt. I think she was looking for a foul, but Schmidt kept backing up, and Erickson lost her footing. And Schmidt picked it up right away and went the other way. But unfortunately, Erickson looks like she has stayed down and is holding her knee. So that's not something we like to see. So unfortunately, you can see she's hurting. Well, we're going to pause while the coach talks it over with her, and hopefully she's able to get up and walk this one off, but you never know. We're going to hope for the best. We'll be Well, the coach and one of the assistants helped her off. She's standing over here. They got ice ready. And that's going to hurt the Eagles because Erickson has definitely been a force offensively and defensively for the Eagles. She's been taking it to that left side of the basket, doing very well there, and she's tipped a lot of balls and kind of been the point guard for the Eagles. So hoping for the best for her, hoping she's got maybe a bruise and she's maybe able to get back later in the game. But either way, she's on the bench for now with a little bit of ice, and we'll have to wait and see. Wilhelm fouled. She was trying to get inside. She goes to the line for two and nicely hits the first one. Last time at the line, she was 2 for 2. So misses that one. Cherney with the rebound, and Aggie Schmidt quickly ahead. Outside, a wide open shot for Candler from the three-point line, and she hits another one. So a very good start for Candler coming off the bench. Doesn't normally get a lot of varsity time, so excellent for her. Ooh. On a pass across court, Moans jumped in the air, and I don't know if you've seen it, but live, her ankles looked like they went opposite directions, and she fell down, and I thought she was staying down. So glad to see her pop up and smile it off, because that, from my angle, did not look good. But she looks good out there, and we continue on. Cherney all over Schleichner with the ball. Trying to get it on top up here to Wilhelm, and Aggie Schmidt was all over that one, knocked it out of bounds, and actually knocked the scorer's table a little bit out of bounds. So, inbounds by Peterson. Moans right in front of her, and knocked it down immediately. But when she knocked it down, she must have knocked it down off of Peterson, which I couldn't see from my angle, but Comet ball. So with 1:30 left, Comet's up by 40. Aggie Schmidt on top, kicks it over to Candler. Candler thinks about it, kicks it over to Bridget Moans, who fires a three. Comes up on the front side of the rim, rebound to Schleichner. And Schleichner brings it the other way, guarded again by Candler. A lot of contact there. Wouldn't surprise me if a foul was called. Ball was tipped over the center line by the Comet, so it's not an over and back. Aggie Schmidt now all over Schleichner. Schleichner ends up traveling. I'll say this, the Comets are definitely all over him on defense. And so far, they're letting him play. So Schmidt to inbound, 53 seconds left in this first half. Comets by 40. Kick it down to Sievert in the corner. Doesn't get it. Cherney tips it to Moans. Moans couldn't grab it, and the Uni Eagles end up with the ball. Wilhelm bringing it up past half court. Guarded again by the Comets, combination of Schmidt and Candler. And I thought Aggie Schmidt, to be honest, it went off her foot out of bounds, but the refs had a much better view than I did, and they said it was off Unity. So Comet ball. Comets working around, Sievert in the corner, up to Candler. Back to Sievert. Down the corner, she fires it to the middle of the court. And back out to Bridget Moans, who fires a three off the front of the rim. Sievert with the rebound. She drives in, nicely off the backboard, doesn't go. Cherney with the rebound. And she hits it with 7 seconds left. Eagles better move up quick if they want a last-second shot. I don't think they're going to get it. Well, that's the first half, 56-14, a 42-point first half advantage. What I'm going to tell you in the second half, they have to play half of the second half. So at the 9-minute mark, if the Comets are ahead by 40 points, that will be running time. So at the 9-minute mark of the second half, if the Comets have a 40-point lead like they do right now, it will be running time. So the clock will not stop when the ball goes out of bounds or they shoot free throws. The only time the clock will stop is if they call a timeout. But for halftime, we have the parent introductions. It's Parents' Night here in Cameron, but it looks like the dance team is lining up. And the dance team members are senior Audrey Grady, and she's out injured right now. Junior Alicia Lowe, sophomore Abigail Boric, freshman Rory Gretschman, and Jada Hill and Ireland Olson. So I do not have the info, but the POM team is going to state. They finished 5th in their regional competition and are making a state appearance. And Alicia Lowe, who is front right, is made it as a soloist for the second year in a row. So enjoy this halftime show. I'll be right back with you.
So tonight we're going to honor our senior Audrey Grady, and I'm going to turn it right over to the girls.
Well, a nice halftime dance performance. The first time of the year they've been out here. And if I'm correct, they're leaving tomorrow morning for La Crosse for the state dance competition. And right now, Alicia Lowe doing a little dedication speech to the one senior, Audrey Grady, who unfortunately has a brace on. She suffered a injury, and she's unable to perform the, unfortunately, second half of the entire dance season. So fortunately, she's okay, and she will be, but dancing is not something she's going to do for a little bit yet. So we wish her the best in her recovery, and it's good to see her out supporting her teammates.
I don't know how I'm supposed to do that without my hero by my side. You're more than just a teammate, you're my best friend. And you're the one who made practices fun, even when I wanted to quit. You're the one who's reminded me why I love dance, and you're the reason that I made it through high school and made it feel like home.
Okay, I only have so much time, so I don't want to cut anybody off, but I'm going to give you a recap of the scoring for the Uni Eagles. The leading scorer is Andrea Erickson. She's got 5. Belle Carlson, the sophomore, she's got 4. Wilhelm, the senior, has 3, and Violet Hill, the senior, has 2. For the Cameron Comets, Anna Baraboo has 11. Bailey Olson's got 9 with her 3 3-pointers. And Ashlyn Candler getting some minutes here on the varsity court. She has 8 already. Aggie Schmidt was 7. Bridget Mones has 6. Peyton Sievert with 4. Inez Schmidt with 4. And Kylie Cherney with 2. So, again, as you knew before, a lot of balanced scoring. So, it is senior night, like we announced. And I'm not sure that you can hear the announcer, so I'm going to give it to you myself. Coming out towards half court is Casey Anderson with Phil and Amanda Anderson, followed by Anna Baraboo with Kevin and Brenda Baraboo. Ashlyn Candler with Jesus and Katie Candler. Mackenzie Cook with Jesse and Kimberly Sierick. Kylie Cherney with Andrew Cherney and Nicole Mullen. Lydia Gifford with Jeff and Rachel Gifford. Quinn Grassman with Phil and Carly Grassman. Grace Cargis with Cody and Amber Cargis. Unfortunately, in a JV game a few weeks back, Grace suffered a torn ACL and had to have surgery, so that was a big hurt there for the JV. Ashlyn Labrie with Jerry and Heidi Labrie. Sage Martinson with Paul and Kelly Martinson. And then we have Bridget and Claudia Mones with Bruce and Samantha Mones. Clarice Nogler with Robert and Sarah Nogler. Emily Olson with Gabe and Amanda Olson. Felicity Oldham with Chris and Becky Oldham. Abby Olson with Brandon and Julie Olson. Bailey Olson with Randy and Natasha Olson. Charlotte Rickle with Mark and Maddie Rickle. Inez and Aggie Schmidt with Hans and Cassie Schmidt. Peyton Sievert with her sister and assistant coach Maddie Sievert and their parents Chris and Jolene Sievert. Reese Schiltz with Matt and Leanne Schiltz. Lainey Wilson with Trevor and Michelle Wilson. Assistant varsity coach Peyton Teefs with her parents Scott and Ginger Teefs. And your coach Chloe Wanick with Dad Nick, the assistant coach, and Sue Wanick. So, wrote by the coach for everyone. Tonight we want to take a moment to recognize and thank our parents and guardians. Your support, the early mornings, late nights, rides to and from practice, encouragement after tough games, and celebration of the good ones means more than you know. You play a huge role in not only your daughter's growth as athletes, but as people. And in the success of our entire program, we truly couldn't do this without you, so thank you for everything you do. And no better words could be said for the parents of these athletes, the traveling, the youth traveling, the practices. And once they reach the age, you celebrate when they have a driver's license and can drive themselves to the practices. But unfortunately, it goes so fast, and next thing you know, it's over. So enjoy these moments. So I'm not sure how much time the Comets are going to have for any talking by the coach the second half. It's been consumed by Parents' Night, but with a 42-point lead, I'm guessing they don't have much to talk about. The Comets went deep into the bench the first half, and I think the bench is going to get deeper in the second. So I'm thinking you'll see the starters come out for a short time to give them a little bit of playing time. And that, by no means, as a former coach, is to rub salt in the wound in a big lead. but some things we take for granted when they vote for Players of the Year in the conference. And we look at kids playing basketball at the next level and scholarships. They go a lot of times by average of points per game, steals per game, rebounds, and those are all important statistics for these athletes. And sometimes when the Comets build a big lead early, you want to think, why don't they go to the bench and just play the bench players? But keep in mind, a lot of these bench players just got done playing a whole game of JV. So some of those players end up playing a game and a quarter, a game and a half, which is all they could legally play. And your varsity players who need to still condition themselves in a game format, and they still have statistics to think about, and that's not just at the Cameron school level. That is what they look at when they vote for the first team, second team, third team in the heart of the North. So they do go by statistics. So the coaches definitely want to give the girls the opportunity to put the stats up, but at the same time, they don't want to rub it in. So it's a tough balance. But if you see the starters out there for a little bit and you ask yourselves why, that's the reason. So I'm guessing the starters ain't going to be out there real long if they do go with the 5 starters. But when you see them coming in the game here and there, it's, again, not to make a statement and not to blow a team out by any more, but they got to play their game to stay in a rhythm, to still produce their stats, just like any other game. And honestly, the girls have fun with it, but they recognize they are going to go to the bench, and they're going to go deep in the bench tonight. So it's a tough balance, but please don't think anybody's trying to rub anything in when they got that big of a lead, because I know the coach is going to shut it down and slow it down a little bit into the second half. But the refs are ready. The players are ready. And by the looks of who's on the court, the starters are starting the second half, and that's probably what's going to happen for a couple minutes. And then you'll start seeing some subbing. Unfortunately, as I look at the Uni Eagles, it looks to me like Erickson is still on the bench. She's walking around. She has ice on it. Still visibly upset. Hate to see that. It's not like it was a close game, but injuries are not something we want to see. So wish her the best. Hope it's just a bruise. Hope she's going to be better. Hope she doesn't have some sort of knee problem there. Unity starts out with the ball. Tried to get it down the baseline to Hill. Out of bounds. Comet basketball. Bailey Olson brings it up. Comets with the 42-point lead to start the second half. Get it down to Aggie Schmidt. She drives. Had Baraboo there. She couldn't quite get it to her. Kicks it back out to Bailey Olson. Inside to Schmidt. Over to Inez. Open for Bones. Misses. Schmidt with the rebound. There, Bailey Olson gets it. Bridget got it inside to Anna Baraboo. They kicked it out to Aggie Schmidt. And she hits a 3. So Aggie with 2 threes tonight. And Wilhelm brings it up. Covered by Moans. Schmidt comes in, possibly to pick that one off, but tipped it out of bounds. Well, she tipped it off of Peterson and out of bounds. So she got just enough of a hand on that one to knock it off the opponent and out of bounds. Moans with it into the post to Inez Schmidt, and Aggie fires another 3. She was feeling it. Rebound to Baraboo. She goes up short. Rebound back to the Eagles, and they come the other way. Wilhelm with it again. She's able to dump it inside. It looked like to Peterson, and she muscled her way in and went up with it. Moans on top with it again. Kicks it down to Aggie Schmidt. Back to Moans. Cross court to Bailey Olson. Up on top to Inez. She looks around. Bailey Olson with it, but she's guarded close by Wilhelm. Good call there. Bridget Moan baseline for 3. She come up short on that one. So Moan's firing a couple, not finding the bottom of the net on any of them. Came up short. Rebound to the Eagles, and they're coming back the other way. Carlson with it. guarded by Aggie Schmidt. She's quick, got her hands out there, picks that one off, and the other way she comes. Aggie with 2 more. Aggie with 5 in the second half. She had 7 in the first half, 5 in the second, so she's up to 12, almost her average. Inez Schmidt with the steal. Thought about firing it into Aggie. It wasn't there. Out to Olsen. Over to Moans. Back to Schmidt down low. Up on top to Moans. Bailey Olsen open for 3. Off the front of the rim. Baraboo's there, though. Collects another rebound. Fires out to Inez Schmidt. Doesn't get it. Rebound to Peterson, but she couldn't quite get her hands completely on it. And Inez was able to take it away from her just over half court. Moans comes in with a nice little baseline jumper, but that falls short. Hits the front edge of the rim and drops straight down to the Eagles. And Wilhelm brings it back the other way, guarded closely by Moans again. Wilhelm tried to get it into Carlson. Aggie Schmidt was right there, got her hands on it. Carlson dove to try and get it back from Aggie Schmidt, but she caught too much of Aggie, and the foul was called. But that's Carlson's first. And the first team foul in the second half. Bones brings it down, kicks it over to Aggie Schmidt. Inside to Inez. Nice ball movement by the Comets. Bones got it into Baraboo, who quickly got it over to Bailey Olsen, who fired it up, and she was fouled, but that was excellent ball movement by the Comets. So Bailey Olsen to the line, her first time tonight at the line, I believe. Comes up short. Bailey had 9 in the first half. Tried to make it 10 from the line. And she hits a second. Carlson inbounds to Schleissner. Now guarded again closely by Moans. She tries to fire it over the baseline there to Duholm, but that was tipped out of bounds. Comets still playing very tight defense. Still appear to be in like a man-to-man defense. Ooh, a long pass inside. Corralled in by Duholm, but ended up losing the handle, and Bailey Olsen comes up with it. Olsen over to Schmidt. Down to Aggie Schmidt. Back to Inez on a drive. Found Baraboo in there, but it collapsed around her. They kicked it out to Bailey Olsen for 3. Doesn't get it. Bailey Olsen drives in and finds an open Baraboo. A nice pass inside. Baraboo finishes nicely. So Baraboo with 13 points on the game now. Schleissner had picked up her dribble. Aggie Schmidt had her hands on it for a second. She tried to get it back in, but that time Bridget Moans was there. And Bailey Olsen, they picked that pass off, and Comets come the other way. Moans looks around on top. Bailey Olsen positioned about 4 feet beyond the three-point line, but I've seen her shoot from there before. If they're going to give it to her, I'm surprised she's not taking it. In and out. She had a good look at the three. It was right there. Rebound to Baraboo. She got it to Inez Schmidt. She went up and she was fouled. So Inez Schmidt to the free throw line. And the Comets go to the bench with just over 13 minutes left. Aggie Schmidt and Bridget Moans out, and Quinn Grassman and Peyton Sievert in. And Inez Schmitz hits that one, and the Comets lead by 50. with 13 minutes left in this first half. So Wilhelm brings it over to Schleissner. Into Duholm. She tries to go up, but it's blocked. Fell down into the hands of Inez Schmidt, but as she turned the corner to bring it up the court, she stepped out of bounds. Unity basketball. Comets guarding the inbound closely. They get it into Nelson. And a nice pass inside for the basket. Schmidt now finds Olsen down on the baseline. Took a little step. Fired, no good. Nelson with the quick rebound. They kick it out. Here comes the Eagles. Wilhelm over to Schleissner. Guarded closely by Sievert. They got it over to Nelson. She corralled it, lost her footing. Kicked it out to Cottville for an open three. In and out, doesn't get it to fall. Bailey Olsen with the rebound, and the Comets come the other way with a 48-point lead. Grassman on top, over to Olsen. Back to Grassman. She's a little deep to fire from there. Bailey Olsen fires it to the middle to Baraboo. Kicks it back out. Grassman now to Inez Schmidt. Nice drive to the basket. Baraboo positioned herself, so she kind of set a screen, but didn't really set a screen. She was just in the way, and Inez Schmidt had a clean look at the basket. Schleissner with it again, guarded closely by Sievert. Tried to get it into Wilhelm, but Bailey Olsen was having none of it. A little too much body when she tried to tip that one away. And that's Bailey Olsen's third foul. And the Comets going a little deeper in the bench. Kylie Cherney and Ashlyn Candler into the game. Bailey Olsen and Anna Baraboo take a seat. And the Unity Eagles want to talk it over. So Unity basketball, 11:13 left on the clock, and the Comets lead by 50. We'll be back after a word.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Well, Eagles timeout. They're talking it over, trying to draw something up. That might help them out here in the second half. They're down 50. So, again, when we reach the 9-minute left mark, unless something dramatically changes with the score, it's going to be running time. So we got 11:13 left. Unity ball out of bounds underneath the basket. Pass into Cottville. She's guarded closely by Cherney. Trying to find somebody open. Finds Schleissner. Sievert still guarding her very closely. Tried to get it inside to Wilhelm, but Inez Schmidt was right there for another steal. And Inez brings it the other way. Sievert, baseline three, short, off the front of the rim. She tried to dive inside, follow her shot, but she wasn't able to quite get her hands on it and out of bounds. Unity's going to bring it the other way. So Wilhelm this time brings it up just past half court. Inez Schmidt waits for her. kicks it over to Duholm. I think when she went by Sievert, yep, it was called on Sievert. Sievert with the foul, that's only her second. Unity tries to inbound, and as Schmidt tips the inbound pass and recovers it herself, another steal for Schmidt. Sievert brings it up. Over to Schmidt, back to Sievert. To Schmidt, and back to Sievert. Fires it to the middle of the Grassman. She drives to the lane. I wasn't sure. I think they're talking it over. I think one was thinking traveling, the other one was thinking foul. And a jump ball's a call. And with the hand on the ball, I wasn't sure if it was a foul or if they're going to call traveling. So a jump ball was an excellent call by the officials on that one. This time it goes to the Comets. So Inez Schmidt to inbound. Schmidt to Sievert, cutting to the basket. She was right there, went up with it immediately. Rebound to Cherney, who went right back up with it. Couldn't get it to go. Hill came down with it for the Eagles. And they come the other way. Wilhelm tried to pass it across to Schleisner, but Sievert stepped in the way, picked that one off. And the Comets, you could see, are already been told to slow it down a little bit. So Comets with a little bad pass there, almost right into the hands of Kottval, but she wasn't able to wrangle it in. She was surprised by it herself, and out of bounds it went. Inez Schmidt's out, and Abby Olson's in. So the Comets have completely set the starters. And Ashlyn Candler, I think they thought a play was going to happen where they rotated it to the corner, but the corner person was not there. And she realizes it herself. She laughs about it. They got a big lead. Nothing hurt there. Fun to joke about. Eagles trying to give a little give and go over the top to the inside, but it was a little too deep and out of bounds. Comet ball, 9:16 left. Sievert to bring it down. Over to Grassman, down to Candler. Back to Grassman. Sievert on top. Over to Grassman. Back to Sievert. Sievert tried to fire it into Candler, but Peterson was right there. Nice steal, came the other way. Sievert tried to get it back, but no doing. Hill with it in the corner. She gets it into Wilhelm. Nice little turn move underneath in the post. Couldn't get it to go. Abby Olson with the rebound. Over to Candler, and here comes the Comets. Sievert, baseline for three, doesn't go. Abby Olson with the rebound, kicks it back out to Candler, and Sievert says, let's reset, try this again. Over to Candler. She fires it to the post to Abby Olson. Over to Grassman, they reset. Sievert up in the corner, to Candler on top, takes a step in, fires it into Kylie Cherney, who is guarded closely. She kicks it back out to Candler, and Sievert's open for three. No doing. Cherney with the rebound. Goes up, couldn't get it, gets her own rebound. Out to Quinn Grassman. No good. Long rebound. Corralled in by Sievert. Over to Candler, back to Sievert. Sievert thinks about it. Over to Olson and back to Sievert. Comets obviously in no hurry now. Into Cherney, and boy, the Eagles sure do collapse on that post. Candler for three. This time it doesn't go. Wilhelm throwing it down, but Grassman knocked it away, and Unity subs in. Duholm, the freshman, back in the game. And Carlson, the sophomore. So Grassman up in the corner. Down to Abby Olson. Back up and around to Candler. Down to Sievert for three. She gets this one to go. So 6:49 left, running time. Comets ahead by 53. Unity the other way. Peterson has it. Cherney's right there. Tries to reach in for the ball. Kicks it out to Hill. Over to Carlson. She drives, guarded closely by Sievert. Kicks it out to Schleisner. Guarded by Grassman. Over to Hill in the corner. She's looking for a cutter. Tried to get it inside to Schleisner, and Grassman kind of went over the top and tried to tip that one away. So Grassman's collected 3 fouls. And we got 6 minutes left on the clock. Inbound to Hill, guarded by Sievert. Kicks it over to Peterson. Peterson comes in, nothing doing. Kicks it out to Schleisner, who resets to Carlson on top. She starts driving. Nowhere to go there. Kicks it back out to Duholm. Tries to get it on top to Peterson, and Candler was there, and across the arm she went. Went for the ball, got the arm. So inbounds by Peterson. Comets guarding the inbound pass closely. Carlson with it. Guarded by Sievert, and the Comets start going deeper into their bench. Candler steals it as Duholm tries to sneak in. Candler unable to finish on the steal and fast break. And then off the rebound, she's able to tie it up, but it's Eagle ball this time. So the Comets sub in, number 3, Casey Anderson, number 23, Claudia Mones, the younger sister of Bridget Mones, and number 10, Lady Wilson. So there's some girls that get quite a bit of time on JV, don't get as much time on the varsity floor. So a good chance for them to get out and show the fans what they can do on the varsity floor. So we got just over 4 minutes left as the Eagles try and get it down inside. A little too deep of a pass, out of bounds. And the Comets going to come the other way with just under 4 minutes left. A 71-18 lead by the Comets. Candler over to Claudia Mones. Lady Wilson posting up in the middle. Candler fires a deep one. Doesn't get it to go. Rebound Casey Anderson. Throws it down to Claudia Mones, and she hits her first shot in this varsity matchup. Schleisner with the drive down baseline. Fires up a shot, comes a little deep off the rim. Rebound Comets. Candler brings it up. Casey Anderson to Mones. Back to Candler. They're looking for a cutter that just isn't there. Now Mones cuts in. Candler out to Mones. Mones fires a 3 this time. Comes off a little short. Lady Wilson battles for the rebound and comes down with it. Anderson on top, works it around to Candler. Candler back to Anderson. Anderson fires a 3. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound Duholm. And Unity brings it the other way. Schleisner with it, just past half court, guarded by Anderson. Over to Cottonville. She lobs it over the top. A nice play there by Wilhelm. And Cottonville, nice little assist over the top. She had room, perfect lob, and they put it in. Candler with it. Fires it down baseline to Abby Olson. Out to Lady Wilson, back on top. Resets with Candler with just over 2 minutes left. Lainey Wilson fires a three. It goes in and out. Rebound, Abby Olson. She's fouled. She goes to the line. So Abby's first time at the line tonight. The crowd was really excited, hoping Lainey coming off the bench was going to get a three-pointer there. It looked good the whole way, popped in and out. So with a minute 30 left, Comets by 53. A nice looking free throw there. Abby hits one of two. And Unity brings it up past half court. Schleissner with it. Tried to pass it. Lainey Wilson on the steal. She's bringing it the other way. Up top to Casey Anderson. Into Moans. Moans kind of got a little bit bumped there by Schleissner. Not enough to call the foul, but enough to make Claudia take a step backwards and travel. So, with 40 seconds left, Uni brings it up past half court. Over to Peterson. Peterson drives. Nowhere to go. Over to Cottenvall. She's looking to pass. Finds Carlson baseline. She gets a shot off, but Claudia Moans with a hand on it. I think we're going to credit her with the block on that one. Candler comes up with it with 20 seconds left, and the Comets are working the ball around. Not sure they're even going to take a last shot here. But Unity out pressing him. 7 seconds left. Out to Lainey Wilson. The crowd wants her to hit one. Came off the front of the rim, and that's a ball game. So the Comets with a 74-20 win tonight. Just a little reminder of the upcoming schedule on Monday night. The Cameron Comet girls will be at Cumberland. And the only way to watch that is on the Cumberland Huddle Cam. Then on Tuesday night, I'll be back with you. It's the Comets hosting St. Croix Falls. Comets already went to St. Croix Falls, pulling out a win over there, 64-47. So a little tighter game than what they had against Unity, so that could be a little better game here with St. Croix Falls. Then on Friday night, the Comets go to Barron and play the Barron Bears. And a makeup game on Saturday, they will travel to number 9 ranked Chippewa Falls McDonald Central, who put an end to the beautiful season the Comets had last year in the sectionals. So that could be a really good game next Saturday night. Shows 7 o'clock. Then the week after that, the Comets will be home on Tuesday, Thursday for Ashland and Hayward. Hayward being the end of the season and the conference leader. And the Comets hope to be co-conference champions if they can pull off a win against Hayward and obviously beat Cumberland, St. Croix Falls, Barron. McDonald Central is not a conference game, but definitely an important game going into the playoffs. For Unity, they're at home on Tuesday against Ladysmith and Thursday against St. Croix Falls. So, this is Dave Kuffel. It's been good to be with you tonight on a big Cameron Comets 74-20 win. And again, I'll be back with you on Tuesday night. Monday, it will not be on We Are Cameron. It will be on the Cumberland School District Huddle Cam if you want to tune into that one. And we'll be back with you on Tuesday. So have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we will see you next week.